All right, guys. And testing. Just getting audio check going. Hello, hello, hello. What's up, everybody? Welcome in, welcome in. Easy. Can you hear? And coming in live. Test, 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 test. Audio test. All right. Seems like you guys can hear me. Just collecting my earnings. If you guys could, if you're watching, could you leave a comment? Make sure you guys can hear my audio. Gonna be running this with no camera this time. My laptop doesn't like to stream live, but just wouldn't wanted to make sure you guys could hear me. So I'd like to welcome everybody into the first episode of the Great Upland Groups live stream. Here I will be going through just a basic introduction and just welcoming everybody into the group and saying hi to some members and some founding people that helped me start the groups, give a couple shout outs, and just kind of do some basic walkthrough and tutorials. Uh, I started doing Upland probably about a month and a half ago, and so far so good. I've really enjoyed getting into the game. It's been kind of a little bit of a dive into the NFT world, and I have been able to kind of get my feet wet, so to speak, to be able to understand what NFTs are and how it pertains to Upland and its platform. So I've been trying to, dissect and really get into like how you can make money off of this and what are some of the basic fundamentals of the game and or I say game and I really mean platform, and I'll dive into that a little bit deeper into some of these other videos that I'll be making. But why I say platform is just because it's and not a game is just because there's so much more to this than just what you see in the basic interface of what we're looking at right now. But here is the layout of the Los Angeles area, and just opened. They're still opened about 2 weeks ago, and there's it's been bought up pretty quickly as far as NFTs goes. And as you can see, these little blue circles are where some of my properties are around the city of LA. And I'll just jump into some of the basics that I've been learning. How to navigate through block explorer and stuff like that, so we can get some of these new players acquainted with how to get around the map and what does it mean to mint a property, and uh, really understand how to move or how your character moves, because you can't really move your character, which we found out the hard way. Me and Jamie, if you don't know, Jamie's my wife, and I'll probably mention her back and forth quite a bit because she's been kind of my guinea pig on some of these adventures or uh, days that we've been spending together trying to figure out the platform and how to navigate for new players. Because whenever I jumped in, I kind of jumped in uh, after watching a couple of videos on YouTube, and I'll shout Loyal Doyle out on his YouTube channel as well. He's got a great channel on how tos and stuff like that. That I'll be shouting him out and giving him some references. Hopefully, he'll stop in one day and maybe I can get him on the show. But he, excuse me, we will definitely be talking about some pointers and stuff like that. But let's see here. Sorry for the delay here. I'm trying to do this live and also be able to show you some of the things here. So I'm just grabbing the screen here and trying to make it better on my side so I can see if you guys are commenting on here. So let's walk through some of the basic interfaces of the map in the game, basically. So what you see here on your layout whenever you first log in, uh, you'll be prompted into whatever location or region you're in, and you should get a idea of where your player is. Right now, my character is roaming over in the I think Pacific Paradise, or however you say that. Sorry if I butchered that. Maybe in Bel Air, actually. No, it's Pacific Paradise. And so some of the basic interfaces to the game and what you see on your basic layout is up here in the left hand corner is your profile, and this will kind of tell you everything that you need to know about your profile and everything else like this. This is all public information. Every single person in Upland can actually go and view your profile just the same way as you're looking at it right now. They can see all your assets. The only thing they can't see is your withdrawal balance and or your cash, but be able to see basically everything else, all your collections, and collections are a big part of the game. And we'll go into that a little bit further when we go down to the collections tab. But as you can see, you can kind of see all the different cities and the collections that they own. And I'm just scrolling through this real quick. You'll be able to pull up everything and see it yourself when you log into the game. The next button down here uh, will it's just a kind of center button. This will kind of take you into the center of the screen to kind of start you off or refresh your screen and set you into the center of the city. Um, this is your UPIX, your total amount of UPIX, and UPIX is in game currency. Basically, it's a cryptocurrency that isn't released on the market for public sale yet, but it is used in game to buy NFTs and block explorers and everything else like that. This little character right here, by the way, let me not get too far away from that, is a block explorer, and you can change and edit this. You can actually import block explorers if you create your own NFTs. There's a way that you can upload and make your own and bring it into the game, and you can actually sell it for money as another way to be able to sell money onto the game, which is a really cool thing. And I'll go into that a little further. I'm actually doing some research on how I can get my own created for the Upland Group, the Great Upland Group show, actually. And so actually really excited to be able to see if I can get something going as far as block explorers, because that's also a big money maker in this game. So far, I've seen, a couple of these block explorers go for a couple $1,000s, and it literally only took them maybe 10, 15 bucks, $20 to make, and so it's a big profit, big return. Also going in here, you can see all your assets, and like I said, everybody has access to all this information. If you look down here at the bottom, you'll be able to see your structures, how many different structures you have, how many different block explorers you have, your uploads, NFL player association legits, structures if you have any structure ornaments, and then your spirit legits. And all these are just different block explorers or NFTs or decorations, so to speak, for your NFTs to make them that much more valuable. But moving on here, the up right hand corner right here is the get epics. This is where you would actually go in and buy and sell your epics. And if you didn't get the update today, you can actually go in and register for the Valentine's Block Explorer. And if you pay $4.99, you get the Block Explorer and 5,000 epics, which is pretty big because normally you only get like a block explorer, or and so this is a good combination because you get some epics so you can buy or mint some properties and have a block explorer to be able to sell later on for people that aren't in the game yet and want to be able to collect each of these block explorers. Just if you can, there's always a good investment to get one of these, hold on to them if you like, use them as your little avatar up here, but you can also sell them. This is like I would say like a year investment, since it's about $5. I would say this $5 would probably yield you maybe about $20, $30 later on, but just nonetheless you can flip your money and you're basically getting double the value of it right away. So no matter what, you automatically get your $5 right back in Upix, so you can go ahead and buy something else that will net you some money. But uh, from time to time, Upland will release Spark and different characters or block explorers or stuff like that. And most of the time, they'll release it in the specials. A good place to look on this is to get all this information, and where I get most of my information is on Discord, and I'll share that in the link below, just so everybody has a idea of where I get most of my information from. But as you can see, this is where you go in, and all you have to do is go in and click, and you can actually pay with PayPal, crypto, or debit or credit card. And this is all done through Tilia. And if you have a cash balance, so say if you sold one of your properties for cash, it'll hold it in your wallet right here, so you can just rebuy Upix if you want to. And as you can see, I've cashed out a little bit and bought some Upix for the release of LA, and I bought some properties. Um, but you can also add your credit cards and stuff like that. So um, easy way to add, and you can also withdraw your money. The same cards that you have on file, you can also return the money that you put into the game, or that when you sell a property or sell a block explorer for cash, you'll be able to pull the money right off, which is one of the better features of Upland, if you ask me. Right here is your timer for your revenue. So anytime you own any property in the game, it actually mints you a net earnings while you're not playing the game. And so this is one of the cool features, and why most people are getting into NFTs is because they are making money by owning virtual properties and stuff like that. So uh, right here you see your monthly earnings. This is a pretty low earner. That's why I'm trying to sell it, as you can see, but I have it on listed for $11. I actually only paid $6.06 for it, basically, or 6,000 upix in the game. And I've listed it for $11 so I can make about $7 profit, and I can go and buy something else. uh, and just like that, as you can see, that's as easy as it is to buy and put your properties up for sale once you have them minted. I am a registered uh, a verified user in the game, so I'm allowed to sell my properties for cash. One of the ways to do that is to be able, you have to go and register in the Santa Clara City Hall, and you have to do that in game actually. And so you'll have to send your character or click. I believe you may not have to send your character there anymore. I believe you could just click on City Hall. I think I made the mistake of thinking I had to go out there, and I think I read later on that I didn't have to go out there. All you had to do is click on the City Hall. But I'll make a video on how to register your account so you can uh, buy and sell for cash basically, instead of having to only sell for UPIX when you first get into the game. And there is a cooldown period when you buy the. You sometimes you can't just buy the property and sell it the immediately right afterwards for cash. You may only be able to do UPIX. You have to wait a few days. But I think that's just for the integrity of the game, so they can have time to mint the NFT on the blockchain and so on and so forth. Because whenever you go to mint the property, you'll have to wait a little bit while it mints on the blockchain before it actually you actually take ownership of it. Let's see, and going down the line here, as far as this right here will take you to different separate page. That's your special events calendar. So anytime you want to know what current events are happening right now, this will kind of take you right over to the Upland page. This right here, I usually have this on. This is like I call it the GPS button, but this actually brings up and pops up the grid lines of each of the actual locations and in each of the cities. And if I zoom out here, you'll be able to kind of see when I toggle this, it does it for all cities. So anytime you're in a city and you want to see where like each of the boundary lines for each of the cities or neighborhoods, they call it, go in and out, you just want to toggle these and it'll kind of create that grid line so you can kind of see where you're going. This next button down over under the GPS button is a little house button. And what this does is anywhere inside your view screen or viewing area of your screen, if you click this, this will show the properties that are nearby. And this will kind of give you an idea of what the properties or the cheapest properties in your viewing area. And if you look right here, you can look to see that the cheapest 69, and if I zoom in to, let's say, what is this right here, Westlake right here, uh it'll show me only the properties that are in that viewing area. So as you can see, it changed to Ocean View Avenue, and the prices are different there. So anytime that you're looking on the hunt for properties for sale and you want to be in a specific area, it's easier if you zoom and scroll in and out to the area to change your viewing area. And that'll kind of give you, this will give you what is on sale nearby. And then this button right here, the little icon area right here, is actually search button. And if you want to search up different areas, you can just type in, and sometimes you'll be able to click on, or you'll be able to find just by a little bit of a search. Right there, I just did Los, and I was trying to go to Los Feliz, and say I wanted to go to Hollywood. I can just type in Hollywood, click Hollywood, and it'll take me over to that general neighborhood. Uh, the next button down right here, the little chess piece button will always take you back to your character. So if you ever you scroll away because you're looking at different properties and you want to know where your character is, you just click this button. It'll bring you right over to your character. These three dots down here is basically your menu button, and this menu button is will bring up a few different things, and I'll go through a few on this episode just because it's a tutorial. A basic quick view of the tutorial. And so this first one is another properties button, but this is actually the list of your properties. And so if you look right here, this will bring up your properties and how much your total UPIX value or your total net worth is, UPIX value, how much you have basically in your bank, and then this is how much your money is going to collect a month, and how many collections are completed, and then how much your total property value is actually worth. As you can see, I have a few properties here. The earnings right here are highlighted green because I have them in collections, which is the next tab over, and we'll get to that in just a second. But as you can see, I have some of these on sale, and I don't have some other ones on sale. Right now, I'm keeping my collection area properties off sale because I would like the the floor on those to go up before I actually put them on sale, so I can make a couple dollars off of those. I'd like to be able to 3 to 5 times my um, what I paid for those, and on some of these properties. And so just the green properties right now are boosted, and the price of them are. It'll just tell you the basic information, and if you click on any of these, it'll actually take you right over to the property, to where you can see kind of like the street view and everything. And I'll walk through what these buttons are and how to get there in just a second. The next tab over is the collection button. So, check this real quick. The next button over is the collections button, and what this is kind of like the collections in Monopoly, so to speak. And this will boost your earnings. This is where you get you you can see and how to add properties to the collections, and how much how much the boost will be in the boosted areas. And this is what makes those properties that you see here the lime green color. And so we'll go back into collections, and we'll just walk through what each of these are. So when you're looking at the blue collection, this is just a standard collection. So these ones are, just the basic collections, but nonetheless they're valuable, and you want to buy up properties in these areas or in these neighborhoods. And if you own any of the three properties, you actually collect a reward. So you collect money, and then you get a boosted reward on the what your uh, income is on those properties coming in. Where you'll 1.36 times the amount that you were getting, and so that's always helpful to keep collecting money. So the blue ones are standard collections, and the purple ones are the limited collections. So it has a little more rarity to it. And then the gold ones are the exclusive collections. And the price range for these, you'll be able to kind of see it goes up quite a bit. And again, you're also going to get more of a reward for getting these ones. And right now, the floor on some of these are about the standard collections. You can still get properties for around $10. And I've seen like in Venice Beach, like the floor on here is about $50 right now to be able to get anything in Venice Beach. Los Feliz is about $20. East Hollywood is about $50. Studio City is on the rise. The last I checked, it was about $30 to mint anything in Studio City. But Studio City, Echo Park, and Sherman Oaks, they're all about the same price range, and that's why they have similar reward bonuses. But owning anything in these areas, these are where these standard collections are where a lot of new players go right off the back, because it's basically the first ones you're going to see. And so a lot of new players will come to these, and so this is where you're going to make you can potentially 2 to 3 times your amount money, even if you're buying in some of these areas, because once these are sold out, a lot of people are going to flock to these areas. Number one, because they're technically a little bit cheaper than owning anything in like some of these purple areas like Brentwood. I think the lowest mint price right here is about $85 to $90, which is about $20 to $30 more than where that Venice Beach floor is. And so owning something in Brentwood, and there are still a few in Brentwood. So if you do have $100, I do recommend, and you're trying to be able to flip that into something bigger. This is these purple one in the collections. Like anybody that was lucky and minted anything in Hollywood for under $50 is now looking at. I mean, the floor in Hollywood is about $150, and so they just 3 times their money, and so they paid 50 and they made about $150, which to me is a win. And I'm hoping that I can capitalize on some of those properties that I have in the downtown area to be able to do the same thing. Pacific Palisades, same thing. The floor about 100,000 ish. Westwood, I know, is at about 120,000. Cheviot Hills is completely sold out. Westwood may be completely sold out as well. Lockmont still has, or Larkmont, if I'm butchering that, I'm sorry, but has plenty of places to be minted as well. But again, I believe the floor on here for these mint things are about $300. And so, yes, if you have 300 bucks to invest in the game, I don't personally, but if you have that, or if you've sold a property for that much, and you're able to flip into something bigger, this would be definitely one of those times where you want to flip into something bigger, because like once these are sold out or minted out soon, they'll be worth 500-600 bucks, and so that 300 bucks will be easily turned into a couple bucks. And same thing goes on with these exclusive collections. So you'll see these yellow tabs, um, and again, you can see where the reward is. I mean, $4 basically, 4,900 upics, and the boost on it is almost two times the amount. And so like there's big returns on investments on these, because I know some of these like Ventura Boulevard properties were going for $20, $30, and I couldn't get my hands on any of them. My avatar wouldn't move fast enough, and I know if you were in the game like I was, you were having quite quite the anxiety attack every time your character would get to something and you click on it and then you get the loading screen. But the upside to these ones, I mean, these guys, some of these people that I see on Ventura Boulevard that got it, minted it out for $20-$30 a piece. I mean, right now they're selling them for 3, 4, $500, and I mean that is the win. That's where you win. I mean, that's the big wins that you're looking for right there. Is finding these as they're releasing these cities. You want to find these exclusive areas, because you're going to be able to buy things for fractions of the cost, and then the whales or the players that have hundreds and thousands of extra upics, and they're wanting these badges to collect for their block explorer. And by the way, these badges, you get little tokens right here, and that's what you see on the block. Your little explorer. These little tokens are your badges, and so I'll click out just to see if I can find some of these other characters. And you'll see characters like this with huge stacks of badges, and that's really what the game is about. You want to be able to collect these badges to make your collection and show that you are invested in the game. And this is just there's no monetary value other than the rewards that you collect for collecting each of these badges, but you kind of get a little bit of accolades, so to speak, and you're a little more in the area where he's going to notice stack of chips there. So always good to do collections and complete collection areas. But again, standard, limited, exclusive, and then you get into the rare collections. And these ones, I now that I could see Mulholland Drive, there's still a few left on Mulholland Drive, but I think the cheapest one I found on Mulholland Drive was, I think, like $524 or something like that. Which, I mean, before the collection release, I think last Thursday, I think the cheapest one was about $100. And so if you were able to snag one of these for 150, $200, and now the floor on this is 500, you just made $400, easy profit. So kudos to anybody that got and stuff like that, because these are the rare collections. And then you get into the ultra rare collections, and some of these like the gregarious Angelino, these ones are actually curated by the Upland team. And so like they've actually gone through and found cool street views and uh famous people's houses and famous landmarks in LA that are part of like movies and stuff like that. And they basically turn them into their ultra rare collections. And some of these properties, I know one guy lucked out, and it was like a little square, I believe, that was a part of Total Recall or something like that, or I forgot what movie studio or set was over there. But basically, the guy paid $5 for it, and he's waiting for it to be sold. Probably, I wouldn't suspect he'd get anything less than $1,000 for it. So that's a huge win. But those are the little gems that you look for whenever these new cities are released and stuff like that. So but this just a little bit into the collections. Any as if you want to, as you buy properties, I should say, you can go in and you can change these out. You want to make sure that you got your highest earners in these, so they're actually getting boosted earnings. And the way to add and uh, add properties in here is, once you see it fill, you'll be able to go in and you just click tap to fill. and that'll complete your collection, and you'll go through done, and then you'll it'll right here, it'll pop up, it'll probably do a little animation, and then you'll click the collect button, and then you collected it. And as long as you have the stars or the number of properties in the same area or part of the collection, you'll collect that active boost. But once you remove or sell anything out of this, I have to replace reactivate the boost. And so you want to make sure that you're if you're selling any properties, that you are making sure these are full up. Going on down here is your messages and stuff like that. This will kind of give you the overview of what your properties, whenever they sell, it'll send you a message of how much you sold them for. As you can see, I sold a couple of these a month ago and made a few bucks on some properties flipping. This is how I got into the game. Um, my very first property, I bought in New Orleans, and with the bonus upix that you got at the very beginning of the game, I was able to mint a small little house in New Orleans, and I think paid $4 or $5 for it, and I ended up selling it for $9, $9.99, or 9,099 upix. But that was my very first flip, and I believe I put a couple dollars into the game, and I bought a little bit bigger of a property, and I think I paid like $6 or $7 for it, and then I doubled it again for 15,000 upix. It's equivalent of making seven or $8 per each of these flips, basically. And I just kept doing it and continued doing it, and so this is kind of like a little preview, a snapshot of how much I've made, and as you can see. You also get referral bonuses. So anytime that you go in and you refer somebody else, you'll be able to. They get 1.5 times the amount they put into the game, and you grab that other half. So anytime you have friends and you want to show them what to do or how to make a couple bucks, as you can see, I got up and I'm starting to make 25. 23 and $25 for some of these, and I'm pretty sure that I paid 10 to $11, and I'm making 10 or $15 a piece on some of these. And this is when I got my account verified. I'm trying to see. I think that was my one of my properties sold for $42.50, which I was really proud of. It's probably my biggest sell so far, and that was right before the release of the LA area, and I was able to spend an extra $42 just because I was able to flip that right at the I think I paid like maybe $18 for it, and I ended up selling it for 42.50. And so, a little profit of $20, and I didn't really have to do anything other than just click sell on the property. Find it before it got too expensive, and then I sold it at a higher price. And that's kind of the name of the game for me. I know one of my good buddies that I've gotten to the game. He really is just collecting. He literally just buys. He has money to invest, and so he's put in, I think, close to about $1,000 into the game. And I believe he started off with about a hundred bucks, and then he moved up once he was able to see the benefits of owning some of these properties and gaining that upix per month. He's seen it as an investment, and so his properties net him close to 10, $15 a month, and he's just sitting on his properties. I believe he's up to a little more, like 17 or 18 properties, but he's bought in some properties that are 40 to $50, and they net him almost. I think one of my properties, and that's over 1,000, but his most of his properties net him almost 2,000 a month. And so therefore he's making, his properties, his NFTs are making money while they're just sitting there, which I think is one of the biggest benefits of the game. If you're not going to flip or sell, you're actually, no matter what, you're still making money on that investment into the game. And all this, I think, is pretense to what the metaverse has to bring, which leads me into some of these other tabs. Because if you could see, the NFL Players Association has legits in the game, and what these guys are doing. I mean, these guys are able to, I don't know if you guys are familiar with the NBA Top Shots, but the NFTs that they're selling on these games and stuff like that, they allow you. Sorry. Shout out to Homeless Shank. I guess I keep clicking on his property. But it takes you into these stores, and what you can do is you can actually buy jerseys and hats and stuff like that from these teams. And what they are is just basically NFTs of virtual, jerseys and stuff like that, which you can eventually. What I believe they're trying to get into is making this more like a Sims virtual reality game where you're able to swim around in these towns and places and feel that nostalgia of kind of seeing what's going on in that area in the virtual, but in a virtual world. And I believe it'll kind of simulate very closely to Ready Player One, if you ask me. But with the sim like, I guess, avatar kind of walk around, walk through, because based on some of the commercials that I've seen released lately from Upland, it looks that it's going to have that way until there's better or more advanced technology. But back to what I was saying, the NFL and the players association, they're legit. So, I mean, these guys are actually actual NFL players are joining in to the game, and they're buying up properties, and they're really interacting with the community, and it has been the total players and markets in some of these areas that they're buying and selling their properties, because who doesn't want to own something that NFL player was able to do, and you just be able to sell it for that much more value, especially whenever they introduce autographs or cars and other things that they've been talking about. And so I believe that there's a lot of cool things that are going to be coming up. Also, going through the settings button, you'll be able to go through see your basic settings. You could turn off some of the features and some of the other, just toggle through some of the graphics. If you're lagging on the game, you can just turn off your enhanced graphics, and it'll kind of block it down a little bit, just so you click on properties quick. I know sometimes it may take a long time to load. You can log out of your profile. Just some of your basic settings going through there. Your profile. This will pull up your same profile in that in your avatar area right here. This is your challenges. This is also a good way to interact with the community and win some free upics. You get quite a bit of money for being some of these challenge leaders. It's a little hard. Me personally, I haven't won any challenges. I just still getting into the game. But some of these guys that have been in there for quite a minute, they win quite a few, and I see some of the same names on there. This will take you to the Upix store, to same ways as the Upix. This right here is the portal, and what I believe this is so whenever you want to add an NFT into the game, what this allows you to do is add directly from a different platform, and you'll be able to add a code or a wax address in, and this is how I believe you import your block explorers or any NFT that you want to feature in on some of your properties. Uh, and they've also just released this as a player search. So if you want to look at a certain up for certain players, because they've allowed UPX transfers now, so you can now transfer UPX to other players. And we'll look up my wife here. So we got Jamie May, and as you can see, you can go to her profile and you kind of find her. You can send UPX uh, up to a certain amount. I believe it's like 10,000 UPix or something like that is what you're allowed to transfer one time. It may be unlimited soon. Right now, I believe it's 10,000. But like I said, you can find all her basic information, what she has, assets, what her properties are, structures, all that stuff. The same as you would look in your own profile. So they make it very, very, transparent, because they don't want anybody taking advantage of newer players or that, and they want everything is available to be able to be seen on the blockchain as well. There's a way to be able to see the code for the blockchain. You can't change it or edit or anything like that, but I'm pretty sure there's a way for you to actually see your coding, which is what all this actually breaks down to, and what I like to tell new players and what they're getting into. Because as you can see, here's my character right here, and when you click on your character, there's no way to really control that character. It kind of just drifts on its own. And the way that you can make it move is actually by sending it, which is a function to the blockchain. You will be able to send a character to a property that is bought. You unfortunately can't send to a property that has not been minted, and that's what these properties are right here. That my little explorer is now technically finding um, on the blockchain. And so what this is now, if I wanted to, or if I had enough UPIX, I could potentially buy this or pay for this on the blockchain, and all I have to do is click buy. Um, uh, you can view the street view of the property, and this kind of gives you a view of what the Google Earth view is of the property, and what it pertains to, what it will, I guess, pertain to in the metaverse. I assume that they're going to pretty much copy most of what these houses look like, and then have basically a basic model of them in the metaverse that's similar to what you see. The treasure button, you have to do this on mental properties, and I'm gonna make a separate video on how to treasure hunt. I know I got a few people asking me about treasure hunting and stuff like that, and it's a once you figure out once it's explained to you, it's a little bit easier to understand. Even for me, I still get the distances wrong, and I'll explain all this in a little bit. But this is your basic. I like to call it Monopoly card because that's kind of what it looks like to me. But how much it is, the size of it on in the metaverse, and this has a lot to do with how much you're actually going to make on the property, because the lower the space it takes up, the less it seemed to have been making. And I haven't seen too many instances where you've got this number is low, and then this number will be high, or your monthly earn going to be any higher. So excuse me. So but the property size just basically pertains to how much of the grids, or how much of the metaverse it takes up, from my understanding. And I'll look into that a little bit deeper, but I'm pretty sure that's the basic understanding of it. But when you go over to the blue properties and you see this property is blue, that means somebody's already purchased that or the property. Um, Benji here has I don't know if you can see the actual mint price on this from this screen, but you can see that he's making 360 epics a month for this property. And street view, let's see. Street view is black, okay. But moving back to moving your character. So anytime you want to move your character, you can click on a property that's already been minted, uh, and if it's up for sale, you can also still send it. Be careful because you don't want to actually buy any body property. Well, this is where turning off all the graphics and everything else goes into play, because it takes a few seconds. But if you click this button right here, this will send your character, or kind of move it to where you want it to go. So say if there was, and I'll show you where what the airplanes do. But the airplanes are extra sins. You get 10 sins to start with, and when you use all 10 of those sins, you get 3 extra sins a day, and they over time. And so once you run out, you'll get 3, and it's up to you to get more. And I'll show you what those will just a second. And so right here, you'll be able to confirm. It says I only have 3 cents left, so I'm not going to hit send on this, because I want to be able to save those 3 cents so I can get some more. But I'm going to show you how to get some more here just now. So you see I got 3 cents. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go and look for a populated area. Let's see where I'm at right now. Kind of scroll out here, scroll out. This time in Tarzana. Let's go down to let's go down to downtown. There's always a lot of properties down in downtown. Now, there's these are going to be random. It's always in downtown, but right here is one of my properties, and so you can always send once you minted a property, you can always go down and mend. You can send yourself for free back to your property. As you can see, it doesn't give me any options to say it's only got 3 cents left because I'm going to be able to send it for free. So there goes your little avatar is going to go, and you're going to be able to send. And so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to scroll out a little bit further. Excuse me. Just enough to where I can see all the properties, and I'm just going to kind of go through and see if I can find any little paper airplanes. All right, here we go. So there's a little paper airplane right here, and we're going to click on the property, and we are going to send ourselves over to this property, and you hit confirm. And again, your avatar is going to go over here. And once it kind of loads a little bit, you're able to click on it, and now I got 3 additional sends. And so that's how you get additional sends there. Whenever you run low, you always once you get down to one, you always want to make sure that you're going and grabbing extra sends because you don't want to run out. Trust me, I ran out on release day, and I was trapped, and I was so devastated because I couldn't get into. I had plenty of money, plenty of epics to be able to spend, but no sends to get me there, and they hadn't released anything to the public or any extra sins for the public, and so you really had to make do with the 10 cents you had, and so you had to make them count because the application was running, so it was so many people doing the same thing at one time. The application took crashed a few times during some vital moments, and it was kind of hard to get some places or get some properties minted because once you clicked on it, it just kind of sat in that loading screen. And a lot of people were like stuck in limbo. But that's how you grab, and that's how you uh, collect extra sins for treasure hunting and everything else like that. So I will kind of go into treasures right here, and once a day you'll be able to spawn your treasures for free right here. And this is the exclusive treasure, or excuse me, exclusive treasure, limited treasure. And then you can also practice tapping on the pinata. That's whenever you find a pinata, you just kind of click it to get extra ups. So I think every 3 or 4 hours this recharges, and you'll be able to go and find exclusive or limited uh, pinatas, which hold just more upics. I believe the ready, the standard upics uh, only allows 230 to 6,600, and so we'll spawn this free one, and since I've got 6 sins, I'll kind of walk you through how to treasure. So we spawn it for free. You only have 5 minutes to find the treasure, and what you want to do is you don't get any real clues from the treasure from anything other than when you click on the property. Oh, not the block explorer, but click on the property here, and you want to click treasure, and it's going to give you this little indication button, and based on how fast this indication button is going, you this is kind of tells you how far away it is. And so anytime it's slow like this, it means it's about 200 kilometers away, and it's kind of hard to gauge how far 200 kilometers away is. So what I like to do is I kind of zoom out. I look where that arrow is pointing at, and I kind of zoom out. And since I know it's a little further away, I look to see if I have any properties in the nearby area. I believe I have one over here in Central Alameda. I do, and so I'm going to send my character for free right here. And again, you want to move with a little bit of pace because you only have that 5 minute countdown, and so you want to make sure that you're you're moving quickly. And once you click on your property, again, it'll give you that indication. And see, now it's a little bit quicker. So this means it's about, I believe the 3 arrows means it's about 100 meters away. So that means I made about half the distance to it. And Let's see. I'm going to zoom out a little bit. And I know the arrow was pointing down in this general direction, so I'm just going to go over here to Florence. And as I'm doing this, I like to try to find places that have airplanes in them or airplanes. I look for around to see if there's any airplanes, but I don't want to generally move too far off of my line. And so if I don't have it, and time is of the essence, and so I'm going to send, and I only have 5 sends left there. So I'm going to check to see again. You want to be paying attention to see if you can find any airplanes on your way. And let's see where this treasure is. All right, so now it's really beeping. So that means I'm probably about 50 kilometers away. So I'm almost there. And so I want to go straight down from right here. So what I'll do is I'll keep it, I won't go as far out. And I'm going to just zoom in and I'm going to try to see if I can snag an airplane straight down somewhere here. I'm not going to go too much further than what I see here. And let's stop over at this property right here. You want to make sure you're paying attention to the UPX because it also costs money to send yourself to each of these places. So, and I got 4 sends left, and let's check that timer. We got about 2 minutes left, and I should be getting pretty close here. This next one, if I'm not mistaken, should be glowing red a little bit. Nope, not quite red yet. So we're getting close. It's starting to go white, and so it's going really fast now. So you just want to kind of keep going down, keep going down. Let's see, zoom out a little bit more so I can grab a little more space. And stop right here. Still don't see any extra sends, so I'm just going to keep sending. Only got 3 left, I believe. Oh, there's a send right there, so I'll grab that on my way over. And oh man, I'm really well, it's going really fast over here. So let's pop over here. Let's grab this send so we don't run out. I only have a minute and 30 seconds left, so all right, so we got 2 extra sends here, so that's kind of a little bit of a lifesaver. We're down to 2, so we put us at 4. We're gonna check to see how close we are. Still straight down from here, so let's zoom out a little bit. I'm just gonna take a little bit of a guess here. I'm gonna go down to about right there. Let's see if I may have overshot it here, but we're gonna send. We only got a minute left there, so this is kind of a all or nothing there. And again, once if I get down to 1 send, I won't want to use my last send to if I'm not 100% sure because I don't know when I'll be able to get more sends. And so, oh man, that thing is glowing up red. So basically, I'm gonna take one more stab at this. I only got 36 seconds, so I'm gonna go and let's see. I don't see any more sends here, so we're gonna shoot for this one right here, and we're gonna see if we got it. It's the kind of a shot from half court. Do we get it? Nope. Didn't get it. Only got 15 seconds left, and I'm sure it's gonna be like pinging bright red. Nope. That means I passed it. So it means I went a little past it. So it means it was probably somewhere in this little area over here. Means I'm a little bit too far. So it's probably right around this area right here. But as you can see, that little timer went out and it'll ask if you want to play again for another 100 upix. And for me personally, I wouldn't have done it again just because I'm only down to 1 send. But that's the general gist of getting doing treasure hunts. And I'll post a video where I actually am successful in doing it. Uh, so everybody can see that you can win free epics. You can win up to $6 up to in a tier 1 city. So for 100 to spend 10 cents to make $6, that's a win any day. But they do vary, and it does it is random. So I've gotten a lot of uh 20 230 epics, and then I've also got one that was 3,000 epics. So it's hit or miss. But depending on when that riot mode is on, I believe if the riot mode is on or if this bar is glowing, you get 2 times the amount that you normally get, and so it's always a good time to do it to treasure hunt while it's in riot mode. And here in LA, I haven't seen a day that hasn't been in riot mode because a lot of people are treasure hunting for that $6.60. I mean, it's a big win if you're only spending 100 upix to actually to spawn and play. And so as long as you're able to collect the sends to be able to get you there, I think that's a good way to make money if you're not flipping properties actively, if you're still a new player and you want to get more upics without putting money into the game. That's a good way to earn some money. But let's see. I think I've gone through most of the basic tutorial, basic buttons. A lot of these other ones are just kind of like leaderboards to let you know who's doing the best and what, and you can see trades and everything else like that. Like this kind of you get there's always competition for some of these things, and so they hold different competitions in the little event tab. But that's how you can kind of see the leaderboard. Um, I'm trying to see here. So, um, so if you guys haven't already done so, please hit the like button for me, and subscribe to the channel. I'm starting this up for brand new YouTube players, and I'm trying to be able to reach out and help some people out with some of the basic things that I've learned in the game. It took me probably about a week and a half, 2 weeks to really understand after doing 3 or 4 months of research, actually playing the game. Oh, and so it's been it's been a learning curve, so to speak, for what I need to how to navigate the game, because I was really frustrated when I couldn't actually move my avatar to some of these places, and then I had a learning curve because I was looking at places. Because you can actually go and buy and sell. You can buy properties in different. Your avatar doesn't have to be in the city to be able to buy the property, so to speak. It needs to be there to mint the property, but not buy the property. Because I can go over to Bakersfield right now and pop into Bakersfield and look to see if there's anything for sale. And usually it'll pop up green dots, and I click, just kind of zoom in here, and I can buy and sell. Um, any any property from any city in the city, or in the game of Upland. No matter where you are, you just can't mint the properties for the first time if you're not in the actual city, or your character is not hovering over the actual property. um but yeah, this has just been just a basic. This is the first stream. I'm looking to do more of these, a little more specific, to cater to some of the questions that you guys have for me, and some of the game questions for the game. Um, I have been trying to find somebody that has been, just helping beginners, and a lot of the channels I've seen on YouTube, or done in this, or seen in Discord, or anything like that. Really, there's not really a kind of a beginner's tutorials guide, and they don't ask the harder questions, because I know a lot of times people just come in and they click around, and you don't really know what you're doing, because the interface is kind of basic as of right now. But it's still a fairly new game. I think it was released in 2019, and then actually got a app version on Google Play and the Apple Play Store just recently, I believe in 2020. So it's still a new game. I mean, there's, if I'm not mistaken, there's still, I believe, with the LA release, the members have jumped up to about 350,000 users, which when I first started, there was less than 200,000 users, and so the game has grown exponentially. And I believe this is where a lot of people should be getting in now, before we get the millions of people trying to, or the metaverse is released, and this game just explodes, and you'll be kind of take advantage of these cheaper prices right now. I believe this is kind of like the best time. I know that I wished I was able to get in on some of these areas like Chicago and Santa Clara and stuff like that, but I was so new to the game that I really didn't know what was what, and who was what, or who was doing what. So it was really cool to see other people making money, but I wanted to be the person making the money. And so as you can see, I have quite a few NFTs or properties in the game. one I'm most excited about that I'm pretty sure that I'll be able to sell for quite a bit of money because it's actually uh, a 7-Eleven. And so this, I believe, any of the places that are marked like this, especially businesses. I know McDonald's just got into the metaverse, and I believe they're going around buying up all the McDonald's for themselves. And so I know people that are so excited because they're going to be for quite a bit of money. And so I paid about $60 for this, and I'm looking to get about 335 back out of it. And I'm pretty sure this one, I'm only going to hold this for about a month or so, and then I'm probably going to move this up to about 500 to 600 bucks because I believe that the longer that this sits around, the price should go up on this because it's valuable. Any kind of business in the game. And so anytime you can go in and you can find some of these areas that have businesses, like I know this is a shopping mall and it's about 173 bucks. But if you look, I mean, it's a whole apartment complex back there. And so I believe that stuff like that, it's worth it. I mean, it's going to net you $2 a month, and I know that a lot of people invest in the stock market and stuff like that, but the stock market, if it goes down, you've lost any money, any revenue, could always be lost in the stock market. This is a guaranteed you're going to make $2 a month for however long you own this property, and if you own a collection of the property, you can make up to $3 in it, which ultimately it just adds up over time because I know that, like I said, my buddy has a bunch of these that are $2 and $3, and he's got 15 of them. And so do the math, 15 times 3, he's netting 60, 50, $60. And for something that he had it in his savings account, and he was not he was making 0.2% off of it. And so or 0.1% off of his savings account or whatever it was, but he wasn't netting, $70 a month. He was probably netting $70 a year. And so this is just a good way for people to be able to turn that profit. You have extra income coming in. You want to be able to invest like I did. I only started off with $10 or $5, and I worked my way up gradually. Each time I had a extra 20, instead of going by scratch offs, I put it into the game. And now you can see, I think I've invested, total of my money, I believe I invested just about 75, and I will turn that into about $300. And um, based on the properties that I have listed right now, if I sell everything as is, oh, didn't mean to click on collections. And I'll do another video with my screen with my Excel sheet and everything else. Like I have a little Excel sheet spread out, but if I sell everything as currently, for what I believe I should profit, for the $300 that I've made in the game that I put back into the game. I basically took all my profits, and anytime I flip something, I've put it back into the game with a bigger property. As you can see, and some of these are only 7,000, but I paid 30 dollars for some of them. And so I believe that these $30 properties I'm gonna be able to sell these for 100 to $150, and therefore netting me a way bigger profit back. And so I believe that's where you kind of, and I started off small. I take these $7 properties and I sell them for 13, and I make my little five, six, $7 profit. And then and whenever I make that $13 profit, I go and try to buy another one for 18,000, and sell it. And this one I'm gonna be able to sell for 60, and then that's how I was able to afford the one property for 30, and now I'm going to sell that for 150, and so on and so forth. And so there's ways to make money. And again, like I said, once you register, you'll be able to sell it for USD. And then once you're able to sell it for USD, all it is in, and the same way you put it on, you click the withdrawal button, and it'll let you withdraw your money from the game. It says, they'll take a $5 service fee or 5% service fee, and you can, whatever it is, you can pay it, but it'll go right back onto your card. So you can pull money on, and you can put money on and take money off. As of right now, I don't believe there's a way to convert your UPIX back to USD. I believe that's something that they're working on, or it's rumored that they're working on. So don't hold me to that, but I believe that that's a good way to that'll be a good way to earn a lot of people's trust. Say you're not enjoying the game, and you put in $100 in your initial deposit, and you sell all your properties and you're stuck with a bunch of UPIX, and you just want to cash out and leave the game. you should be able to cash out and leave the game and not have to worry about selling all your properties for upix. And so I don't know. I have to do some research, a little more research to see. But I believe I read a few things on Reddit and Discord that if you sell all your properties and you don't have any properties, they let you cash your upix out. And so I'll confirm that. But I believe there's something to that clause if you sell all your properties, and I believe if you email support or something like that, I believe there's a way to uh, get your money out of the game if you want to get all your money out of the game. I don't believe that anybody's not being able to get their money back from what I could see on Reddit or uh, Discord or anything like that. I believe most people, it may take a little bit of a waiting period, or they have to confirm no fraud or something like that. But I believe eventually everybody got any money they put in and they won it back, they got it back. But this pretty much sums up my first little live stream here, based just kind of going over some basics on Upland and what I've observed. I'll go in a little more detail with a few more specific videos, but I'm gonna try to jump on this live stream for everybody in the Upland. The Great Upland group on Facebook. If you want to join in, just shoot me just shoot me a message in the link below, and I'll be able to I could hear the feedback on the. Yeah, so you'll be able to find us on Facebook. I'm gonna be posting a lot of content and allowing everybody, new players, to be able to go on and be able to show off their properties and list their properties on there for other people to see, for it to be a little more, a few more eyes on it to see if there's any potential buyers. You never know whenever somebody wants to complete a collection or one collection to trade or something like that. And I'm hoping to make this a big group for new players that are coming into the game that want to just have a basic understanding. So there's more videos to come, and I will see you guys soon. Thanks, guys.